fit for Maplewood, they write a lot of checks that they can't cover. $80 million in debt and climbing and raising your taxes. Isn't that wonderful? And, putting on one tax fee after another. October, they started their electric utility tax. How's that helping you out? These politicians are all hungry for money. Now, why do I call Peter Fischer a racist? Peter Fischer is the low life that is the worst kind of racism. He engages in the worst kind of racism there is. Think of people like Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton. They use racism all the time. They use it to personally promote themselves and threaten and intimidate people. Well, what does Peter Fischer do? Peter Fischer is using it for his own personal advancement by accusing somebody else of being racist that is not racist. And he engages in this bigotry and slanderous kind of comments. He says, this is a quote now, Peter Fischer, he's talking about the two candidates that, the other two candidates for the Maplewood City Council, which would have been Bob Cardinal and the former mayor Diana Longley. Mr. Cardinal's currently on the council and had been mayor. Diana Longley had been on the council and had been mayor. And because they brought up the very issue that I brought up, that, you really want to have somebody on the council that's here for the long haul, that really has an interest, a financial interest in the city, and has been involved in the city and been involved in understanding the issues of the city. Well, here's what the bigoted elitist Peter Fischer had to say. Who's Peter Fischer? Well, he's the one that's him and his cousin, former Mayor Billy Rosbach, who was caught stealing the campaign signs of Peter Fischer's opponent, Bob Hill. And this is what Peter Fischer campaign resorted to, this kind of slanderous, behind the scene, rumor mongering. Peter Fischer, that's the lowest form you can get. That's like a snake crawling on the ground in a trench. That's how low. And so when he starts out saying that, using his name calling, that the fact that Bob Cardinal and Diana Longley mentioned that neither one of their opponents owned a home in Maplewood, and that some of the other issues, that they're racist for telling people the facts. So now I ask you, who's the bigger racist? Somebody like Peter Fischer, state rep, that steals elections and spreads false rumors about people? I mean, it's just like this rumor here. This is the kind of campaigning that Peter Fischer engages in. This is the kind of campaigning, obviously, that the people that associate politically with Peter Fischer, people like Leon Lilly, state rep, Chuck Weger, state senator, and now we have these two new people, Brian Smith and Tu Jiang. Oh, look at this political team here. Here's the group right there. Look at there. There's Tu Jiang, Brian Smith. Look at that racist back there. That's Peter Fischer back there. Here's another one that condones that kind of lying and